Hello again, everybody. My name is Erik Berglund. I'm the founder of The Language of Leadership, and in partnership with RTIlearning.com and CNR Magazine, this is our series called How to Get Them to Do the Thing. And today we're here to talk about how to not do the reminder thing, the dreaded reminder, the check-in, the bane of every manager or leader, the feeling like you're micromanaging your people. Today we're going to talk about how exactly not to do that. Now, before we can get into the play, we need to understand exactly what causes this check-in or reminder to occur. Usually it's a lack of confidence. Either you don't have a lot of confidence that they're gonna do it, and so you propose the reminder or the check-in, like, hey, can I check in with you on that? Or, maybe I'll follow up next week to make sure we're on track, something along those lines. Or they don't feel like they have a lot of confidence. You say, hey, what do you need from me? And they say, yeah, could you check in? Could you remind me? It's always one of those two things. But it all comes back to confidence. Now, if you've paid attention to some of our previous episodes, you might learn how to set better expectations with people, and that will help increase your confidence dramatically. Setting good expectations with people is the number one way to prevent the need for a check-in in the first place. But let's just say you do get to this check-in conversation and they say, yeah, would you remind me? Or you ask, hey, can I come check in with you? And they begrudgingly say, sure, check in with me. No one likes this feeling. And reality is, as a leader, as a manager, what you can't do is continue to add check-ins and reminders to your to-do list. You have too much stuff to do for your real job rather than babysitting the laundry list of people and things you're supposed to check in on. So how do we get out of this? Well, there's a very simple play to run, and it's going to save you an enormous amount of time. When you get to that moment where it's time to talk about the check-in, the game is to get them to push you information as opposed to you having to pull that information from them. Because that's what you want, right? What you want to happen at that check-in is that you go, hey, how's it going? And they say, oh, we're right on track. Everything's good. And you go, good, good, cool. That's what you want to happen. But the fact is you have to go get that information. And what this play is going to do, it's going to flip it around and it's going to give them to give you that information so that you don't even need to have a conversation with. Now, the way I'm going to propose this is going to revolve a lot around your calendar. You might use a different system in your business. You might have a different reminder process or priority list or project management tool, but I'm going to use the calendar as the example. Please adapt it to whatever your organizational system might be. But here's how this goes down. If you and I were having a conversation and you said, hey, could you check in with me? Or I said, hey, could I check in with you? No matter how it starts, here's how the conversation proceeds. Hey, I'm actually really bad at remembering to check in with everybody. Could you do me a favor? If I were to check in with you at some point next week, what would be the right day to do it? And then you let them tell you, Tuesday. Okay, great. And if I were to check in with you on Tuesday, what time of day would make the most sense for me to check in on this thing? And they'll say a time, like, how about 3 o'clock? Great. Okay, Tuesday at 3 o'clock. So if I were to check in with you on Tuesday at 3, how far would you expect to be in this project? Like what sort of status update would you want to be able to give me at that time? Maybe they say I'll be 70% done, or maybe they say the rough draft will be done, or maybe they say I'll have spoken to the client and gotten the information, like whatever relevant to the scope of work here. That's what they'll tell you. You say, okay, great. Do me a favor, take a second and open up your calendar. And I just want you to go to Tuesday at 3 o'clock and I want you to open up just a little meeting invite. And I want you to send me a meeting invite for 15 minutes. It's not actually going to be a meeting. It's just a reminder for both of us that I want to live in our calendars. But put this in both of our calendars, a reminder, and it's going to be 15 minutes. And I just want it to say you to update Erik on 70% status or on rough draft completion or on getting, having spoken to the customer, whatever the relevant scope was. Put that in the title. And now that's going to live in both of our calendars. And so what that means is you can just push me this information before that timer goes off at some point on Tuesday, and then I'll know where you're at. And if I don't get that from you, then I can come and check in and see how things are going. Or if you're not at 70% done, or you haven't spoken to the client or whatever, well, I'll come track you down and we can have that conversation. Does that work for you? Almost nobody will say no to this. But if you get them to put it in their calendar, to push you the information at a certain day, at a certain time, with a certain particular context of information they need to show to push your way, they're going to do it. The sheer act of them telling you they will do it and putting it in their calendar and thinking through how far they should be by Tuesday at 3 o'clock is going to help them be committed and accountable to getting this progress status update done. More likely than not, you're going to get an update that says, yep, I'm on track. If not, that's okay. You were going to have to check in with them anyway, but now you haven't had to think about it. Your to-do list didn't expand. You just had a timer go off or a reminder go off on your calendar. You said, oh, I haven't heard from John yet. Pop him a note, see where things are at. Or they're not at 70% and they need your help, they'll reach out and ask for your help ahead of time, because nobody wants to send you this note at 3 o'clock on Tuesday that says, nope, I'm not done yet. Almost everybody would prefer to get ahead of that and ask you for help earlier in the morning or the day before. So we've solved the problem of you having to pull information from people, but we're still getting the same benefits. In fact, we're getting better benefits. They're more likely to get it done. And if not, they're more likely to ask for help ahead of time. That is exactly how you don't do the reminder thing. I hope it's been helpful. Come back for our next episode next month. See you soon.